Alright, so I got one hit and one crit.
Well, you're probably going to say
Bounce those right off.
Oh, so this pet's going to kick my ass. Stop.
Yep. Hit and a crit.
Is this actually 6? Sorry, the Russians or whatever, right?
Yeah, I bought the new one, so the symbols will always be the 6s.
Okay, why do you have B's on yours then?
That's for the 21st Panzer Division.
No, that's a B.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not 21st.
That's bullshit. It's B for bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the Panzer Lear is in it.
Alright, so good there. Okay, I think we are set to rock and roll.
Alright, my Panzer Fur.
Alright, good evening guys, DeathClock Dave here, and welcome to another Wednesday night live stream battle report. This evening I'm very excited to introduce Monsterpocalypse to the stream. So back in September I had the opportunity to play a demo game with Will Oz Schoonover from Privateer Press. He was one of the developers on the game. I believe the lead developer, and really enjoyed the demo, really enjoyed the look of the models, and how you can mix and match your multiple factions within the same agenda. So you can have flying saucers flying around with Lords of Cthulhu, and basically space samurai ninjas running around with giant Gundam Transformer robot Jaeger type. It's super cool. So this is an action-packed game of using huge monsters to destroy buildings. There'll be lots of destruction as we go. You've got supporting units that help secure buildings and important objectives to generate power for your monsters. So this is our first game. Don has played, so we've got Mr. Don Smith. Say hi, Don.
Hi, Don.
Here to represent the Destroyers this evening. So I took Don through one demo game so far, so he has the basics down. So we'll go through and talk about the game as we go, and probably look up some rules things. If you guys notice that we have done something incorrectly or what have you, just let us know in the chat there if you have any questions. We are just getting started, so I'm sure there will be mistakes as we go. We will be gradually working up to tournament style 2 monster games eventually. So you'll see our board is packed, so we rolled, and Don won the roll to go first, and so he picked, he's on that side of the table because of probably laziness. So, and by that side of the table, Don, stick your arm out. There we go. You can see that, and Don's overlay there. So bear with us with the overlay, guys. This is our first crack at doing that with the names and the factions and the health overlay and stuff. So if you guys have any suggestions about how we could potentially do this better or differently, then definitely let us know. You'll see I have a blue kind of circle icon underneath the health for each monster. That's going to designate the alpha form, and then once they go into hyper form, we will switch that to gold to match the cards. You guys can quickly see what's what. So yeah, Don won the roll. We each have, so we have the base apartment buildings from the 2 starter sets, and then I have 1 copy of each of the 6 buildings that have been released so far, and then Don, through Games Armory, has made some very lovely wooden build. What is it made out of? They're made out of
MDF.
MDF. So some beautiful MDF buildings here, all sorts of different shapes and sizes, from hospitals to huge skyscrapers to corporate headquarters and stuff. So all of the custom-made buildings we are just going to be playing as apartment buildings to keep it straight. So everything on the board is just a standard apartment building, with the exception of the 6 resin unpainted buildings that are on the board here. Hopefully you guys can see those okay. And what we did is, since I just have the 6 buildings thus far, is because Don won the roll to go first, we just basically did a schoolyard pick of the buildings until they were all gone. So Don started, and then we just went back and forth until all of the buildings were selected, and then we went ahead and placed them. So without further ado, I think we are set to go, and hopefully you guys can see the dice cam okay there too. Let us know if you have any problems there. So we will get started. So Don, if you want to go ahead, and you will start by placing your monster on any part of the edge of your board. All right. And I will put Mr. Defender X, I think, right here. Okay. So over to you. So you do your unit spawning. So, and then just spend your action dice as you go. I'll pop over to your monster pool. Sorry?
Am I spawning all of them?
Yep, you go ahead and spawn all of them.
Sorry.
Yep, no worries. Sorry, I was just reading my cards to figure out what my spawn costs
Dave,
were.
you don't read.
So guys, for those of you who are new to the game, you'll see that you have these colored squares, or I guess they're kind of hexes on squares, on your side of the table. So blue are the one player's spawn points, and red are the other player's spawn points, and this is where you can spawn your models by spending action dice. So you'll spend all of your action dice, or however many action dice that adds up to. And then you can go ahead and move your models however you like. So to the max of their speed. Remember that your little crawler guy loves to be sitting on a juicy PowerPoint.
Yep.
And you need
He will do.
And you need 3 units to secure a building. 3 units adjacent to secure a building.
Here's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because we roll the dice in the shooting phase.
Oh. And he can't pass through the tree, right?
He does not have all terrain, I don't believe, so he can go through the trees. It's just going to cost him double movement.
Okay, so he can only go to the tree.
Okay. So yeah, 1 square on the trees will cost you 2. Your crawlers cannot go in these water areas. Those
Yeah.
are considered to be impassable for any models that don't have something like all terrain or high mobility.
Okay, that was.
Oh yeah.
That's looking covered.
Oh, actually, I just put him here.
Okay.
And the big guy?
All right. Nope, you can't activate him unless you have. Basically, at the start of each of your turns, you have to decide which type of activation you're going to do. So now you're at the end of your turn, because there's nobody in range for you to attack. So you now have the option to push your dice from your unit pool to your monster pool. So you can either throw them all over to there, or you can leave some over.
I'll leave a couple.
There you go. That gives you the option to activate either your monster or your units, and it keeps your opponent guessing. If you push them all over to one side, your opponent is going to know which way you're going effectively. So, all right, so I will go ahead and I will start my spawning phase. And I will start by spawning all of my units. So I will spend 1 for a G-Tank. I will put this G-Tank here. I will spend 1 for another G-Tank.
For this one to here, you can draw a line of sight to that corner
Here.
east of that full.
I will spend 1 for an elite G-Tank, or sorry, 2 for an elite G-Tank.
Yeah, no, as long as one corner is in cover.
I am going to spend 1 to bump this G-Tank to here, and that frees up this spawn point. I will spend 1 to pop another G-Tank here. And I will do 1 more to bump this G-Tank to here. And finally, 1 more to poop out a repair truck here. So, all right, so that is all of my unit spawning. So what I am going to do is, so guys, for those of you who can see, it might be a little difficult. My G-Tank with the red kind of face plating is my elite, and for Dawn, this guy here, he's got a yellow kind of back ridges. That is Dawn's elite. So might be a little difficult to see, but that just lets you know, because I know it's hard to see the stars from there. We will eventually get the stars marked in, so it's a little easier to see on screen as well. So. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work on securing a couple of buildings here, I think. So I will move this G-Tank to here. I will move this G-Tank to here. That's the elite G-Tank. I will move my repair truck. He is a speed of 5. So 1, 2, 3. He's going to be there. So we have 3 adjacent there, 3 adjacent there. So they are all securing there. And this gent is going to just move up to here. And this gent, I think, is just going to move up to there. I really want to protect those buildings. Okay, so that is that, and I am now securing the building, the radar complex, which gives me, or the communications array, which gives me radar, which adds +1 to my range, which puts me at range 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just out of range there. And that is me. Do I want to leave? I am going to leave my dice where they are. Okay. Oh, and I will just do this and this to signify that I've secured these 2 buildings. Okay, over to you, Don.
Alrighty. I will activate the big fella.
All right, sounds good. So
Now, because he's sitting on here,
Yep.
I get a red dice.
Yep.
Power dice for that.
Mm-hmm.
Are these guys securing this building?
You need 3 adjacent.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's one thing that one mistake that Dave just made. I should have had one guy move over to here.
Alright, so he's going to move forward and beat the tar out of the
Okay.
hospital.
Okay, sounds good. So he can move up to his speed.
And he's just going to go.
So that's
like
2.
that,
All right.
And he's going to hammer that guy.
All right. So is he going to shoot it or brawl it?
He's going to brawl it.
Okay. So the one thing that's different is if you shoot it, it disintegrates it and it does not leave burning rubble. So that's the one difference. You can do either or, but that's the difference is then you don't have a flaming hazard to potentially be thrown into, for example.
Yeah.
So
For the brawl, I get 4 blue dice.
mm-hmm. And you have to spend at least 1 white dice. So you'll start with 1, and then he can spend up to the max of what his white stat is for the
Which
brawl.
is 8, so he's going to do 4 more dice.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it crazy.
Okay, sounds good. Cool. So roll them in the dice tray there. Bit of a reach. Yeah. Do you want to roll your power dice as well, or are you leaving?
No,
your
I'm gonna
power-
leave it
Okay,
for now.
Sounds good. All right. So your apartment building is, or the standard apartments are defense of 5, and I see at least 5 strikes there.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you are good there. So that will be destroyed. You'll get a flaming rubble. Flip it over. There you go. Whoa! Not flip it onto the floor. Flip it over. There you go.
Alright.
There you go.
Now for destroying that, I get 2 power dice.
That is correct. You actually will get 3, I
3.
believe, because you get 2 normally for destroying a building. And let me just double check. I'm very certain that's the case. And then because you're Gorgadra, you get...
Demolish, I get an extra power dice.
Yes, 22 buildings. I'm very certain it is...
Yeah, it says right here.
Okay, cool, perfect.
On here.
All right, sounds good. So that's good there. All right, Dave, you're bad at this game. Okay, so I will begin with my monster turn. So Mr. Defender X is a speed of 6. And how does my building work there? When I power up, if I'm securing this building, your opponent loses 1 power die. So I am going to do a monster phase. So, want to do a monster phase? I kind of want to get on the, yeah, I should probably do a monster phase to start getting up there. All right, so I'm going to do a monster phase, and so I will start by powering up. So you're going to lose 1 power dice for my special building over here, my corporate HQ. And I am going to get an extra power dice. So I'm securing 2 buildings. So I'm going to get 2 power dice for securing each of those buildings. And I have safeguard. So if I'm securing any building, I get an extra power dice. I believe that is it. So I get 1, 2, and 3, and I should have had a dude there. That would have given me one more. All right, so Defender X is going to go ahead, and I'm going to be a range 3, which it goes to range 4 for my radar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably don't want to get close enough, so if I step, probably better just to waddle up and attack that building to get more power dice. I think that's probably going to be the way to go. Alright, so Defender X is going to go. He's going to waddle up. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have, yeah, that's fine there. Okay, and I am going to attack that building. So I will go ahead and do, so I'm going to get, and there's no benefit from me brawling or blasting. It's the same dice, so I will start with 4 blue dice. I am going to do at least 1 white dice. So that's going to be, probably throw at least, throw those 3. And I'll throw, I'm going to get 2 of those back anyway. Alright, I'm going to throw 5 white dice and 4 blue dice, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so I'm looking for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a bit of overkill, but I managed to do it. And we are going to get, this building is going to be destroyed, so I'll put my blue dice back. I will throw that dice in the corner. These dice are going to go over to my unit pool. I'm going to get 2 power dice for destroying that building. And I'm going to, so Marauder speed is 5.
It is 6.
6, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I will spend 1 power dice, or 1 white dice, to step just to here. And this is going to go away. And that's going to be a flaming rubble. Alright, and I believe that is me, sir, so we are over to you. So you can choose.
So when you activated him, I took 1 of my power dice away, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Alright, I will activate my units.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull things back here. And I'm going to move him 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And I'm going to move him 1, 2 because he was in rough terrain.
Okay.
Alright. And that's it. So I'm securing this building.
Okay, so that'll count for next turn if you want to put your little lock thing on top there. Cool.
Right.
Alright.
So that is 2 more power dice.
On when you do your power up for your monster.
That's
turn,
right,
so.
sorry.
Alright, cool. So I'm just going to quickly double check that we're good to go. Alright guys, let me know if you guys see any issues with the audio or video at all. Just want to make sure we're all working okay there. Alright, so I will begin my turn. I am going to do a unit turn because I need to move that 1 guy over who should have been over there in this beginning. So, alright, I will go to here onto this PowerPoint. And I can move 1 up to there. That's going to give you 1 to kill anyway. What's the range on these guys?
The range is, sorry. The range is 5.
Range is 5. Ooh, they're pretty far. All right. 5, 6. Okay, so he's going to go to there. probably not worth me going up to there and just giving you an extra dice.
Sorry, the attacking player is
Okay. Those gents are fine where they are, I think. These three guys will... Yeah, actually, let's do that. I can shoot at the building. So they go to a range of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these three are going to shoot at this building.
So they're going to do a combined shot.
That's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just out of your big building. All right, so these three will do a combine. They're going to target the apartment building here. So I will start by taking my white dice. So I need at least 1 for each guy. So that's going to be 3 to start with. And then I get for the elite, I'm going to get 1 blue dice. And the regular guys don't normally get any blue dice, but they all have the aim special rule, which means if they have not moved, they get an additional blue dice. So that's going to be for all 3 of them, so there'll be 3 blue dice there. And because I'm probably going to want them, so I will do 2 more of those to make sure I have a better chance of success here. So, because that guy basically has no chance of destroying a building because he's only going to get 1 dice, possibly 2. All right, so I'm going to roll these out. We'll see if we get a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I miss. Should have rolled more dice, guys. All right. So that is that. These white dice are going to go to my monster pool, and these blue dice will go back to my dice well. And that is the end of my turn. It's over to you, Don.
Alrighty. Just a quick question, Dave. When I activated these guys, should I have moved dice over? Because I forgot to move dice over.
Yes, if you want to have, yes, so at the end of that turn, because you didn't attack any of them and you didn't spawn any of them, so you can choose, at the end of your turn, you could have chose to push however many you want to your monsters. So we'll assume that you did that. Perfect. All right. So what are you going to activate?
I'm going to activate the big fella. So first of all, I'm going to get a power dice for the building.
That's correct.
And a power dice for the power node.
That's right.
Alrighty. So he's gonna stroll on up to this building here and pummel it.
Uh-oh.
Yes, so 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And he's gonna give it a big smackdown.
All right.
So again, 4 dice.
Okay.
Thing. And he's gonna use all of these and 1 of these.
And
2.
And he's going to brawl it rather than shoot it.
He's going to brawl that sucker.
Okay, sounds good.
He's going to give it a big bear hug and knock
All
it
right,
down.
cool. All right, here we go. Don, that's a lot better than I rolled. So you got a 1 miss there, so that's pretty good. So you will get your 3 power dice.
Okay, so that building goes kapoof.
Yep.
So I'll put some damage there.
Flaming goodness there, yep.
We'll put 3 power dice into the thing.
Yep.
I'm just going to grab all my dice.
Yep. So all of those white dice will go into your units pool. And so you get nothing left in your monster pool. And then your other ones will return to your dice well.
Alrighty.
Okay. Alright, Gorgadra, you big jerk. Alright, so that's over to my turn. So I'm going to take a monster turn. So I will start with powering up. So I have 1, 2 buildings, so that will be 2 red dice to start. Safeguard gives me 1 extra because I'm securing a building. And then because my G tank is sitting on a power point, I will get 1 more. Oh, and you're going to lose a power dice because I have my HQ. Alright, so now, if you have a close look, so the power attacks are a big part of this game. There are 6 different types of power attacks, with something like the throw and the body slams tend to be the 2 big ones for getting the most potential damage. So I'm going to see if I can throw Gorgadra. So I am a speed of 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll need to step once. So that would be one of those dice. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so I am going to go ahead and so I've done all of that. He's all powered up. All right, so I'm going to activate Defender X, and I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to land here. I have high mobility, so I can move through the building, and monsters also don't care about any other terrain that's on the board.
They can walk through water.
That's correct, yes. I am going to spend 1 action dice to step so that I am base to base and aligned with Gorgodra. You see what's going to happen, Don? You see what's coming?
You're going to miss him, and he's
I'm totally going to miss. We saw what happened last time.
Because
So.
you whiff dices all the time.
Oh yeah, I rolled a handful of dice and I got like 2, and you're like, I rolled 15 dice and got 1 miss. So. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to try and throw Gorgodra. So throw is a power attack. So I'm going to start with 4 blue dice. I have to roll at least 1 white dice. And then for power attacks, you have red dice that you can spend. Well, you can spend them for anything for monsters, but for something like a throw, you can only move a monster the same number of squares for red dice that you spend. So you have to spend at least that many if you want to move them. So I want to throw Gorgodra 1, 2, 3 squares. So I have to roll at least 3 power dice to get him there. What that's going to do, if it works, is that Gorgodra is going to fly over, he's going to smack into that building. So he's going to take a damage for the power attack, which is 1 damage. He's going to take 1 damage for whacking into the buildings, that's 2 damage. He's going to take 1 damage for landing in the flaming goodness of the building, so that's 3 damage to Gorgodra. And he's going to land on all 3 of his Belcher buddies. So what that's going to net me is 3 damage onto Gorgodra. I'm going to be killing 3 units, which is going to give me 3 power dice. I'm going to get 2 power dice for destroying the building, and I'm going to take away Dawn's sweet bonus of securing that lovely, lovely building. So we'll see if this works. I've said all of this, and then I'm going to promptly miss. All right, so I start with this. Gorgodra's defense is
8.
8. So I really want this to work. So I'm going to be getting back 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to get back those anyway. 6.
Yeah, these 2 are at 7s, and then you're 7.
I think I want to roll that. I really want this to land. And I don't have any other things that are going to help me with this attack. So I need to roll an 8. You know what? I'm rolling 1 more of these. I'm paranoid. All right. So
That's a lot of
here we go.
dice.
This is a mitt full of dice. That's one thing I love about this game is the dice are beefy, and it feels good to roll a whole mitt full of them. So here we go, guys. I'm looking for an 8. I'm calling it. This is going to be a 3. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So not by much, but I do hit. So I'll take these dice back. So we're going to be getting 2 dice for destroying the building. I'm going to destroy 3 models, so I will get those 3 dice back. And then these dice are going to go back to my unit pool, and then these dice are going to go back to my dice roll.
Now, does he go straight back?
He will go, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, so he'll have landed there. So I would have had to roll at least 3 red dice to get him that far. Because I threw more, I could have sent him farther if I wanted to, but that was kind of the optimal location to get him there. So, all right, so that's that. That leaves me 3 there. And you will take, what did we say? 1 point for the power attack, 2 for running into the building, and another 1 for landing in the rubble.
Okay, but I also get riled up.
Ooh, nice.
That's right, you riled me.
Yes, so you will take 1, what is it, read riled to me?
Riled. When the model is damaged or destroyed by an enemy attack, you gain 1 power dice.
All right, so you'll get 1 power dice.
Blah.
Okay, so you have no dice in your unit or in your monster pool, so you cannot take a monster activation. So So that means Defender X is safe at least from them for now. So I am going to go ahead and say that is the end of my turn, Don. Over to you.
So now I can respawn these guys.
That is
onto the
correct.
board,
You
right?
must
So-
take a unit turn because you do not have any action dice in your
So I
monster.
will respawn
Mhm.
all 3 of these guys.
Okay.
So again, they'll all
Yep.
appear.
Just remember, one of them is an elite, so I think you got one more. I think you got to spend 4 dice. There you go.
He'll go right there.
Okay.
And he'll go right there.
Remember, if you're not happy with where they are, if you want to bump one of your other guys off, that you can spend 1 action dice to move them off the spawn point, and then you can spot another guy there. So just remember that too, if there's potentially other places that you want them to be.
You know what? I will do that.
Okay, so spend 1 extra action dice. Okay, and then you can bump him
He's gonna go
there. There you
there.
go. Perfect.
And he's going to go right there.
Perfect. There you go.
All right.
So another fancy trick, if I own, so this is a neutral spawn point. So say if you owned here
Yep.
and one of my guys was here, you can actually spend an action dice to bump my guy off, and you could bump him
Right
so that
into
you,
the fire.
so that you can spawn your own dude, but
Yeah.
you can bump my guy into the fire, for example. So.
Perfect.
All right, so you can now choose to move your units and attack if you would like. Oh, and I will just look up the PowerPoints. Objectives 23.
And 2, 3, 4.
Okay. The unit must simply occupy the space on the map. Oh, okay. To hold an objective space, a unit must simply occupy the space of the map. Alright, so it doesn't look like there's any contesting or anything, so we will hold that even if my monster's sitting next to you.
Okay.
Alright, cool.
I am done, and I'm going to take.
Would you like to try and shoot me?
Um.
It's, I mean, it is a long shot, but
Yes. Yeah. What's his defense?
his defense is 8. So you'd be able to reach me with 2 guys, it looks like, with the shooting. So you probably don't really have any chance, because what is your stats on the Belchers?
The Belcher, range 5, 1 blue.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna
and
get
2 whites.
Okay, so yeah, so you wouldn't actually be able to physically do it, even if you
Sorry, his
rolled
defense is?
8. I guess
Okay.
technically you could if you rolled all double strikes. So it's up to you.
You know, it's worth a shot.
Yeah,
I
if you're
say.
gonna
That's
push
it.
the dice over anyway,
Yeah, may
you
as
might
well.
as well.
So 2, I'm going to do all 4 of those.
Okay.
And 2 of those. Let's see what we get.
All right.
These are not Dave's dice, so
Yes. Yes.
there's a possibility stuff will
Yes.
happen
You
here.
need an 8. All doubles. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dawn.
So close.
So I just
close.
want to explain to you right now. On your white dice, you have a 50% chance to miss Dawn. I think you've forgotten that, or your dice have. I don't know which, but yeah, all of your white dice are rolling strikes, so that's pretty glorious. My dice need to take a lesson. All
And I
right,
think I will roll slide
push
those
those
over.
over. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So you now have the ability to take a monster turn.
There you go. You're up.
All right, sounds good. So I am going to take a monster turn, I think, and try and get as much juicy damage on Gorgodra as possible. I don't think there are... I mean, I could throw them into my own buildings. That would be pretty hilarious. I could throw them all the way back here, but then I'm killing my own buildings. So if I threw him... I'm not going to be able to hit any of your units. So I could throw him back there. Because over here, if I come to here, if I throw him back, there's no buildings over here that I can get, and you're not in a spot where I can get you over here. So whenever possible, you want to be looking at those double spots where you can get them into both buildings, because that's where your big damage is going to come from. All right, so I think my best bet is probably going to be a throw. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to destroy any of your units with that, so I think that's what I'll have to do. All right, so I will start by powering up. So you will lose a red dice to start. I will get, I guess, the max of my red dice here, because I am securing 2 buildings, plus safeguard, plus my power point, so I technically get 4 power dice. Alright, so all I would need to do is go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if I go 3 to there, that'll put me base to base and aligned. And all I have to do is if I roll, I want to put you to there perhaps, so 1, 2, 3. So I really only have to roll 3. So I would start with 4 blue dice. Oh, I only have 3 action dice. 2 of those. And your defense 8, right?
Correct.
Okay. Alright, I want to move him at least 3 spaces. That puts me at that. If I leave at least 1 there, that gives me the option to take a monster turn afterwards as well. So I am going to end up getting only 2 dice back. So I really need to make sure this hits. And my next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, to be. Yep.
Yeah, 1, 2.
I just didn't bother making
4 power dice back. So that's potentially, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to hit 8. Dawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8. And then those, and then those. So in theory, this should be enough dice, Dawn. In theory.
We've seen this before.
Yes, yes. I rolled a whole mitt full of dice before, and this went horribly wrong. So we shall see if this happens. I'm actually just going to get 275. Tweak your health here as well. So you're down to...
I'm down to 7.
7? Okay. I forgot all about doing that. So you're down to 7. Bear with us, kids, as we... And you are still in alpha form. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go, Dawn. You're an 8. I need to roll an 8. I need to roll an 8. Here we go. I'm feeling it.
Green, so that was the big
I'm feeling it. So, yes, I got enough dice anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Good, Dawn. Good. Alright, so I'll take these. I'm going to put my white dice before we figure out what I get back and all that fun stuff. So my white dice into my unit pool. All of these guys will go over into here. And I am going to get 2 dice back into my power pool for destroying the building. And Mr. Gorgadra is going to move right to here. So he's going to take 1 for my power attack. He's going to take 1 for slamming into the building, and he's going to take 1 for landing in the burning fire of goodness. So what's your health at now, Dawn? 4. 4. All right. So I'll update that to 4. Okay, and you are in hyper form now?
I am.
So if I hide this, there we go. You are in hyper form.
Okay.
Okay, and that is it for me. That's over to you.
Quick question.
Yes.
Do I get the dice for this row, or is it just 1? Like you rowed me here.
I think, read it to me.
Where does he go?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, he had to go to, he was there, I believe, to be base to base with you. Oh, and I will also, sorry, before you go, do I want to, I probably don't want to step anywhere. If I step to there, I don't think there's really anywhere I can step. It's going to make me safe, so. Alright, so that's going to be over to you, sir.
Alright. So, according to this, it's just the 1 rile. There's no, I don't think it piles.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I think, so my attack, my brawl and my blast and my power considered attacks. When you run into a building, it's considered collateral damage. So I think that's what it.
Okay, so
what it
one
gets
for the
wrong.
power thing, one for Ryle.
Okay.
Okay.
And you got the Ryle for on your turn, on my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, no, I did.
Okay.
So then that would go there.
Okay, because you would only get one for.
One for that, I don't get it for this turn.
That's right.
Okay, so that goes back there.
Yep.
So, okay. So I am activating him,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to do a brawl attack
Okay.
on you.
So is he going to do a brawl or is he going to do a power attack?
He's going to do a power attack.
Okay.
So he's
What
gonna,
kind of power attack would
he's
you like
going
to
to
do?
throw you.
Sounds good. And I'll quickly talk about the power attacks because we haven't gone through them all yet. So throw is the one we've just seen. Body slam is you pick him up and you basically put him down anywhere base to base with your monster. There is rampage, which is, it doesn't come into effect here, but rampage is you move up to your speed stat. So for example, 6, and you roll all of those dice against every building and model you come into contact with, and you destroy all of those. So that's potentially a good one if you want to line up destroying a bunch of stuff if my units are up there. There's SWAT, which is if you hit one of my units, you get to then whip him at another building or monster or unit within 5 squares. So that's a good way to kind of get a nice kind of a ranged attack. We have Ram, which is your monster bashes into the building and it effectively falls over, and anything on this side takes a damage. Is that all of them? Can't remember if that's all of them or not. But though, just to give you an idea that those are the other ones, but probably in this case, doing a throw or a body slam is probably going to be your best bet. You want to attempt to throw me into buildings if possible. If you can't, you want to try to throw me into a burning rubble, for example, to try to get that extra damage. Or throw me so far away that I can't get to you to retaliate. So that's kind of what you want to shoot for.
Okay, so he is going to move up here.
Okay.
Be in base.
All right.
And the power attack is 5 blue dice.
Okay. And I have an ability called Disruption, which any model within 2 inches of me 2 squares of me loses a blue dice. So you'll just drop one of those blue dice because you were disrupted.
Okay, I will use. Oops. I'm going to use 5. Oops.
Okay.
5 of the white dice.
All right.
And I will use 5 of the red dice
Okay.
because I want to throw him into this building.
Okay. Now, throwing is in a straight line.
A straight line,
Yeah.
you're right,
So,
sorry.
so this way, or this way.
So 6. I'm
Okay.
going to throw him into that burning rubble.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so you are rolling for a defense of 8.
Okay.
Here we go, Don. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they're not as good for you this time, but you did get it. All right, so and you wanted to put me up to 6 away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and does he have? Do you do super damage while you're in hyper?
Super damage, what is it?
It'll say up in your little box here.
Special rules monster attack. Does do super damage.
Okay, so super damage means you do an extra damage on your power, brawl, and blast attacks. So I'm going to take 2 damage for your power attack, and I'm going to take 1 damage for landing in the burning rubble. So you will get, you have not destroyed anything, so you will not get any of those actually, unless you have any special rules that allow that. All right, so I have taken 3 damage, so that puts me at 8. Under X is at 8. All right. Just make sure everything's still running okay here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that works together as one thing.
Good. All right. So, on my turn, all right. So I am going to take a. What's your defense now? Is it still
9 now?
9 now. So I would only get. And how much health does he have left?
He has 4.
Oh, 3.
3
Okay.
and then he's
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. So I have to do 3 damage. So if I can throw you, I would do 1 for the throw. I could throw you 1, 2, 3, 4. You would take 2, 3, and 1 more for landing. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. You take 4 damage if I could pull that off. But I've only got this. You've got 1 in your monster pool. You pretty much have to take a unit turn. I guess you could take a monster turn. So you're a 9. So I would get on my power attack, I would get a max of 4 dice, and then 1. Starting with here, I'd get 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd have that, and that, and that, and 1 of those. I don't know, Don, that seems pretty sketchy. I'd have to rely on getting some super strikes. I think that's pretty sketchy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can get there. If I do it, then I kill your monster, and that's game. But if I miss, you can take a monster turn, but you don't have a ton of dice. You're gonna have to shoot me with your. Okay, we're going for it. We're going big and we're going home. This is monster brawling. So I will power up. So I'm gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4 into here. I am going to waddle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. Make sure I'm not cheating. My speed is 6. I have high mobility, so I can move over the flaming goodness without killing myself. And I'm going to attempt to throw you from there to this spot here, getting you on this building, this burning hazard, and on your elite belcher. So I will be rolling. I have to roll at least 1 white dice. I only have 1 white dice. So I roll that. I will get 4 blue dice for the power attack. And I'm going to roll all of these. So I need a 9. I don't have a great feeling about this. I feel the risks and the rewards are good. So I'm looking for a 9, Don. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hey, Don.
Yeah.
It's my turn to only miss once. That was all strikes and super strikes with the exception of 1 blue dice. So you would get moved 1, 2, 3. You're going to land on here on the burning rubble. So that would be 1 point for.
And on this burning rubble.
Yes. So you would take 1 point for the power attack, 1 point for smashing into the building, 1 point for the one burning rubble, 1 point for the other burning rubble, and that's going to be 4 damage, which is what we need to kill Gorgodra. So, hooray! That's victory for the good guys. It's all a matter of perception. Who's the good guy? Good game, Don. That was good. So that's technically my first actual kind of game other than the demo, so it's definitely a good learning experience. So you're pretty limited in the starter box games with what you can do because you've only got the 5. Is it 5 or 5 units to work with? That gets I think in the battle box games, getting like 2 buildings at once, for example, is pretty key. So that's why I put like these 2 buildings that I wanted to get. So I'm not sure if you noticed, but earlier I saw that you had 2. Was it there or there?
2 here.
I put one of my standard apartment buildings on one of your double spots to prevent you from doing something like this. So that's part of the strategy too. Is once you've filled up those mandatory green spaces, you can potentially use your crappy apartment buildings to block what they can do. But you can definitely see how, like in a single monster game, you can bring up to 15 units. So you can really see how that opens up the game, because all of these units were right now dedicated to just sitting here holding these points. One of these guys could have moved up and been shooting, but when you have extra units, like you could have up, I could be doing more with my unit turns, shooting your other guys, for example, or there's some really cool guys, like you have the Explodo Hawk for the destroyers, which he's like a suicide guy that blows up everything nearby. You've got things that like Shadow Sun has the cloaked guys and all that kind of stuff, so you can get them in good spots where they are immune to being shot and stuff, unless you're close enough to them. So I think it really opens up, really once you get to that those 2 monster games, because that really gives you up to 20 units, and then you can mix and match between your 3 factions in that agenda, and you can really gives you a lot of utility that way. And with the 2 monsters, you can do things like I throw him over to here, and on that same monster turn, my other monster then throws him again, so you can get double throws and stuff. The kicker is that when you've got 2 monsters, you're working off the same dice pool, so it's...
And there's always 2 monsters on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. So you really have to, in the 2 monster games, screening is really huge, especially with monsters like Cthulhu. He can spend an action dice to summon a guy. So you can do like, if my monster's here, say there was a building there, I could summon him to there, for example, blocking this spot so you can't get base to base with me. Like if there's a building here and a building here, that would prevent you from getting to me to do like a mega throw. Same thing with the Shadow Sun. They have some like teleportation type abilities which allow you to kind of beam guys in and put them in annoying places, which is pretty nifty. So it definitely gets more tricky and a lot more strategy involved once you get the 2 monsters there. But that was a good game, Don. Good job, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we'll pause there, and we'll see if we got enough time to run another one. So thanks for watching that one, guys. Don, are you up for doing another one?
Sure.
Cool. And or if one of you guys want to play? Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Okay, so bear with us, guys. We are going to re-rack here, and we will be on shortly with another round with one of the other guys playing. So.
I can play game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys can. I'm quite happy to watch and assist. So, the more you guys play, the better.
This one because it's side shot.
We're still recording right now.
Behind your front. That's right. So 1 hit, 1 crit. Well, this is him off. Yeah. Dead son. But he still gets to fire. That's right. Yeah, we're just finishing up 2 days.
Sure.
Okay. Alright. So.
Alright.
I'm going to shoot
So stop streaming.
Mm-hmm.